Took the original London Bridge with them to London.
I said they took it to London. A rich person from America took it to London.
Did I? Cup of latte? A latte cafe? What was it called? Cafe latte. Oh, it's a cup of coffee.
Coffee.
Good morning and welcome to Dartmoor National Park in Devon on a foggy day, a typical Dartmoor day. It's pretty chilly, isn't it, today?
It is.
It's the end of October. And so we're in the village, the town of Princetown. And they've got this little board thing here, which tells you a little bit about it. So it says that Princetown owes its existence to the vision of one man, Thomas Tyrwhitt. He was Lord Warden of the Stannaries and private secretary to the Prince of Wales. And by the end of the 18th century, Tyrwhitt had established Tor Royal Farm and a vision to tame and cultivate the open moor, founding a small settlement called Princetown. Although livestock farming has always been an important part of Dartmoor life, Tyrwhitt's arable farming dream failed, due largely to the harsh environment. But he came up with other schemes to revitalise this moorland community, including the building of the prison in 1809 to house the first French, then American prisoners of war. Today, the HM prison, Dartmoor, is still in use with up to 600 prisoners. And it's somewhere over there. We can't actually see it from here. It's shrouded in mist and fog. But it is in that direction just over there. And that's basically what keeps the town going today. Tyrwhitt was also responsible for the development potential of granite quarrying in the area and the Plymouth and Dartmoor Railway that linked the High Moor to the sea. Now the line closed in 1956 and is now a great track for walking and cycling. So we will be walking down that track in a minute to one of the old quarries. What else is on this little board thing? It says that the highest brewery in England is situated just there. And you can actually smell the hops. Can you smell that? Yeah. Sir Arthur Conan Doyle was inspired to write his famous novel, The Hound of the Baskervilles, while staying at the Duchy Hotel. Which is straight ahead. And we're just going to take a look in now because it's now Dartmoor Visitor Centre. Can you remember the last time we came here? There was a box of clothes and you were allowed to dress up as Sherlock Holmes, and I was sat in that chair there at the table with what's the funny hat you wear? Deerstalker hat, being Sherlock Holmes. So that was a quick look around the visitor centre, which was once the Duchy Hotel. And now we're gonna make our way to what was the old train station. And then we're gonna walk down the old train lines to some of the old quarry workings. I think this must have been something to do with the old station, because the railway station, which would have ended here, would have been in this area just here. And over there is what's called station cottages, which is the cottages built next to where the station would have been. So we're about 430 metres now, so I would imagine this would have been one of the highest stations in the country when it was running. And that there, I think, is some of the old railway lines they've obviously recovered and used as like posts.
Yeah.
Look at that boggy land there. Oh. You can just make out the television mast there, which rises to well over 600 metres. The hill itself is about 517 North History Tour, and the mast, I think the top bit's just missing because of the cloud. So we've come away from the station cottages and the area where the station would have been, and I'm on this lovely flat path, which is obviously ideal for the cyclists. That's why it's such a popular route. And this eventually goes down to the small town of Yelverton on the edge of the moor. I think it originally would have joined up with the Plymouth line and gone straight down to Plymouth. A couple of spots of rain. Ooh.
It is a bit, yeah.
See how quick that mist comes in. Look at that. Wow. See, that's not too bad actually. Oh, it's not too bad now the sun's out.
Changes, doesn't it?
Yeah, a couple of minutes ago it was raining. It's very changeable up here.
In 10 minutes' time it could be misty and raining
Yeah.
again.
So as we go around this corner here now, we can see the same train track but at a much lower level going down there towards Ingrator. For the train to gain the height, it's had to go all the way round this big tor here, which is called King Tor. And there's two quarries there. There's King Tor. Oh, is it?
There's one quarry there.
What's it called?
Foggintor.
There's two quarries over there. One's called Foggintor Quarry and the other one's called Swelltor Quarry. So yeah, there's a massive, the train track does a massive loop going in this direction all the way round into there. So we're now approaching the spoil heaps of Foggintor Quarry. They're all just bits of stone all left over in the past. What a strange landscape. And there's some remnants of some old quarry buildings ahead, which we'll have a little look at now. So that is the face of one of the old buildings. Over there you can see the train line. And it goes right there around and round that tor over there and then back round the other side. So there's a hell of a journey. It's a shame that it couldn't be restored really as a tourist attraction.
Yeah.
Can you imagine that? That would be
It'd be
incredible,
amazing.
wouldn't it?
Yeah, it would be
It would be
good.
one of the most scenic railways in the whole of Britain, I
Yeah.
would have thought. What a great place to work, isn't it? Lovely view, but I bet they didn't really take no notice of that because it would have been hard work. More buildings there. And yeah, we're walking out on one of the giant spoil heaps now. You see it all along. There's loads of spoil and rubble. And it's a lovely view from here. You can see quite a few tours, can't you, really?
Yeah, it's amazing.
See Gert Mist Tour over there. Oh, it's Great Mist Tour, but I always called it Gert. I think that's Rouge Tour over there. The Staple
Gert.
Tours.
Not Gert Rouge
No,
Tour.
not Gert Rouge Tour, but just Rouge Tour.
Right.
Staple Tours in the middle and Cox Tour.
Amazing.
I take it as a weird, it's dead flat. I'm imagining it's a spoil heap, but it seems strange how it's so narrow on each side.
Yeah.
Why was it built like this? I don't know. Yeah, it just ends. It's bizarre, isn't it? Yeah, I don't know. You think if it was just general spoil, it would just shut down. Anyway, let's head back that way then. Right, so we're going to try and make our way through all this spoil and rubble. Is that there?
You get through down here.
Incredible, isn't it? So it's dramatically altered the landscape here, isn't it? Of doing all this mining, this quarrying. Strange landscape, isn't it? It's a shame the way it went misty, but it's really dramatic now, isn't it? Okay. So we're going to head in that direction now because there's something I want to show you. So that was Foggintor Quarry and all its spoil heaps. You can see the distance there. And we're now back on the old train line. So we're now just approaching King Tor. Can't remember the height of it. I'll put it on the screen for you now. Oh, we've got a few cows. Oh, he isn't going to move.
One up ahead. It's the one with the horns.
I don't like the look of that one with the big horns. Right.
Do we go this way wide or that way wide?
Go this way. Those horns are rather big.
I'm going wide.
I think he's quite happy eating his dinner.
He seems to be happy. He's got a little one in
Yeah.
tiny with his horn.
Yeah.
Not really.
Oh, there. You can look back and see the Foggintor Quarry where we've just come from. Huge, isn't it? Look at this. Feels like a little natural shelter. So if you get a lot of wind and rain, trouble is the wind and rain comes from this direction. Down there is Plymouth.
Yeah.
I don't know if you can see it on the GoPro, but that's the sea in the distance down there. And the bits of water over there is the River Tamar. So we've just come down from Foggintor behind us there. And once again, we are coming back onto the railway track. And this is the other side. This is part of that great big loop that goes right round the Tor, which I told you about earlier. So we're now going to head in the direction of Foggintor Quarry. Oh look, there's old wooden sleepers still remaining. Incredible. From here, that great big valley behind us is the lovely Walkham Valley. I don't know if you can see it, but over there is Princetown, which we covered on one of our other walks. And from this side, you can really appreciate the height. How it drops away this side. Now, over there, the distance is the road. When you drive past, it doesn't look quite so grand, but from here, you can really appreciate it. So as you can see, we've come off onto a separate line, which comes off the main line just there. And this is going straight to Foggintor Quarry. So this is where all the rock would have come back out onto the main line there, and then eventually found its way back into Plymouth. And a lot of the rock, a lot of the granite that was taken out of the ground from these quarries ended up in London. At the time when the quarries was working, the granite was in high demand. So there's lots of granite in London in various places, in buildings. I think Nelson's Column. And this is what I wanted to show you. Look at this. These strange carved structures, they're called corbels. And their use is for on, I think it's London Bridge. And for some strange reason, these were surplus to requirements. Now, why would you make loads of extras? I don't know, maybe in case some broke. So yeah, these go on the bridge somewhere. So I think what happened is that in the 1970s, a rich person from America, I think Arizona, bought the original London Bridge and shipped it all the way to his country. But in the process, one of these corbels broke. So what happened is that a helicopter was then drafted to lift one of these spare ones out and take it. And I think the gap where that spare one would have been is just there. So
Cool.
incredible that this is just led here all this time. So now we're back on the main line, and what a lovely view all around. Incredible, isn't it?
Beautiful.
Really nice weather today. So we're not going to go into the main part of Foggintor Quarry because it's very similar to the Foggintor Quarry where we were earlier. But it's the same sort of thing. Big hole in the ground where they took the rock out of. Remnants of a few buildings and lots of spoil heaps.
Quite dangerous as well, isn't it?
Yeah, we've walked through that before, and some of the
Yeah.
paths are quite narrow and lots of loose rock everywhere. Well, I'll take my coat off. It's quite warm again now.
Very warm.
There's a bit of wind, but not too much. Normally it can be blowing absolute gale up here. There's some remnants of some, I don't know if that's walls or an old building. Not sure. Oh, we're out of breath. We just walked down the lower part of the train line, which is the lower part of the loop, remember? And we just walked up this slope here. And then we've got a couple of miles, walk back into Princetown.
It is flat though.
Yeah. So we're going to try and get a nice cup of coffee or tea or something. So we'll see you in Princetown in a minute, okay? So we're back at Princetown having a nice cup of latte. A latte cafe. What's it called? Cafe latte. Oh, it's a cup of coffee.
Coffee.
I don't know why they were given this. What's that, to stir it with or what? I don't know.
It's got your number on it.
Oh, right, it's got a number on it. That was quite a good little walk. It was 10.5 kilometres. And it's quite an easy track, isn't it?
Yeah.
For Dartmoor, because the terrain on Dartmoor is really tough at times. So that's a nice easy little walk that is really. And it takes in lots of interesting things.
And pick all the bits of paper now. Flew away.
Right. Right, I think we'll sign off here because we're a bit tired and we'll see you again next time.